West Ham 2, Arsenal 2. Last week I said we were a little bit deflated or feeling deflated after the result, but I think today it just feels a bit worse. Oh man, it's only been a couple of hours after the game and trying to collect my thoughts and trying to digest this in the best way possible. What does the point mean? What does that result mean for the title race? What does the performances, the mentality, the lack of control in the second half, what does it all mean? But let's try and break this down bit by bit. I think the first 30 minutes, fast start again, 2-0 up. It looks like we were in the mood, we were in control. It almost had a bit of a feeling of yesterday's game for Man City where, we went 1-0 up, 2-0 up, and it looked like game over. Um, but then another moment where the crowd woke up and the West Ham players and fans, they felt like they were still in the game. And let's start with the positives. I think Gabriel Jesus with another lovely goal, lovely cross from Ben White, and of course Odegaard on the score sheet again. Our front four are firing, and they've been scoring goals all season long. But a theme is sort of slowly emerging where we're maybe adding a bit of arrogance and maybe a bit of ignorance into our game, and that's kind of where we're losing a bit of composure and control. Thomas Partey, I think he tries to go for a bit of a flick over the head. Whether or not you think it's handball and they should be looking at that a little bit more closely, I think, it is what it is. We've been going through this all season long. Some decisions have just been going against us. Penalty, they score from it and they feel like they have a chance. And it just seems like, even though they scored 2-1 penalty, I thought maybe today, we're going to find that composure again and we're going to be fine. Let's just get to half time, just control the game, and then we'll probably get back into a bit of a rhythm again. We just pushed them back into their half. But it seemed to go the other way. It just felt like Liverpool game last week as a carbon copy. We just went back into our shells. We were playing further back. They were pressing onto us. It's a lot of long balls today. It was a lot of long balls and throw-ins and set pieces, and we were just trying to survive, and we just could not find a bit of control at all. And I just wonder what's going on. Is it the psychological impact of the title race? Bukayo Saka, he really wasn't his best game, but he's been carrying us through all season long. Thomas Partey, it was not his sharpest game, and I think I was saying in a couple of group chats, the first minute, if you were to literally isolate his first minute of this game, there was two sloppy moments where he didn't really execute his dribble or his pass. And normally you'd think that's a bit of a sign, or you think, just give him a couple of minutes, they'll get into the game. But Partey didn't have the best game, and it resulted in one of the goals that led to the points being dropped. It just felt really flat. And even when we were trying to go for the winner after 2-2, it just didn't seem like we were trying to find that urgency to get into their box. And some of the best plays that we've had all season long has been when we're trying to find a winner or a goal, or we're trying to squeeze them in, we are pushing them so far back into their box, and we've got our wide players one-on-one. And our numbers for having our wide players in their penalty box has been some of the best this year in terms of touches in the box. But today we just could not get as far as the corners of that white lines. We just could not penetrate or even get the players in the right positions. It was a really odd performance, I think, in the second half. We weren't standing in the right places. When we were trying to go for the winner, even in the final attack that we had Granit Xhaka, Jorginho and a third player literally too far back, and not enough players in their areas of where we could hurt them, in between their centre backs. Just really strange. And I just wonder whether, we've had a whole week to prepare for the game. There's been no sort of impact. Maybe the draw to Liverpool set us back a bit. We're feeling a bit stunned. I don't know what's going on. I think there's still a lot of football to be played. This video today has just been about today's game. I'm not too worried about what's been going on the few games before, what might be coming. But the result overall is damaging. And bouncing back is going to be absolutely key. We're losing room for errors now, and we're losing room for dropping points. And City, as long as City keep winning, they're just going to keep clawing away on the points cushion. The Southampton game against on Friday night is going to be absolutely key now. So we need to try and just get 3 points from that game and go into the Man City game away at the Etihad with confidence now. We need to go into that with momentum and confidence and hope for a very positive result. You know, as I say, we were probably hoping as fans that we'd go into the Etihad game as kind of a bit of a cushion, protecting us. But now, this is the title race. The best and big games come down to the margins, and we are going to have to go to the City game and be positive and not treat it as a gimme or a giveaway, or, we don't need to beat City. We have to beat everyone else. Now this is the title race. We've got to now and make the most of every single game until the end of the season. We don't need to worry about Newcastle or home to Chelsea or home to Brighton. We don't need to worry about any of those now. We just need to maximise what we can in every single game. We don't know what this result will mean, but the performance is definitely a worry. I think 30 minutes to get the same type of performance again away to Liverpool as well. It's a bit strange, a bit carbon copy, a bit copy and paste, that sort of result. The midfield wasn't effective. They weren't, in control. And I just wonder what that is. So I think let's go into a few player performances. I think, I hate doing player performances when it comes to criticising them. But I think you can just see the level of quality and drop-off from Rob Holding. He really could not get a grasp of the game, but also in possession. I think every time they went long and there was opportunity and he had time to maybe take a touch, to bring the ball down or head it towards one of our players to recycle possession, it was more of a loose clearance. It was kind of a survivalist attitude. There was times when he would boot the ball away instead of just stopping the ball and just going straight to Partey or Odegaard. Things that Saliba is very good at doing. One of his best assets, Saliba, is he knows how to recycle the ball really well. He's very composed in that regard, and we're just seeing that drop off now. And what that does is it puts the team under pressure because they're not in position to recycle. They're just having to chase loose balls, headers, just any clearance, and we're just not feeling in control of the ball and getting it down on the floor. Partey, not his best game. I thought Gabriel Jesus, I think he had the type of performance that we would want from him. He was holding it up, he was dropping in, trying to control the game, trying to slow it down. But I think maybe there was a moment where he was probably going down a bit too many times, and there was a bit of ignorance coming in. It just wasn't working, and I think we had to find that killer instinct again. The Bukayo Saka penalty, that miss is really, he's going to miss the penalty, and it came down to maybe a game that's going to probably mean something towards the end of the season. But you've got to remember, when he missed the penalties in the Euros, he's scored every crucial penalty up to this point. And you're going to expect players to miss penalties, so we can't be too hard on Bukayo Saka. And he's probably feeling a bit jaded. He's played a lot of games, a lot of minutes. He's probably feeling the impact, and maybe he just wasn't as sharp as today. But let's see how he does against Southampton. We'll know if he's feeling tired, if he's feeling jaded. Who else should we go into? I think Zinchenko. I think Kieran Tierney, I thought he did well. I thought he played really, really well. He's one of those players that would start in a lot of teams in the Premier League. I thought he did really well, but I think you could see maybe from a system point of view why Zinchenko is crucial. More possession, more control. But we don't know. Kieran Tierney played today. He's more than capable. He's a quality left back. And you got to remember what he's done for us. And when we first bought him, the fans over in Scotland, they knew what we were getting. And we were excited by Kieran Tierney back then. So, the points weren't dropped in his areas. And defensively, actually, you can remember 3 key moments where he got a foot in or a block in that maybe saved us from a shot on target against Ramsdale. So I thought Kieran Tierney did really well. But maybe systemically, maybe we lost a bit of control and possession there. This is a bit reactionary. A lot of this is kind of a lot of deflation in my views at the moment. So I'm just trying to go through it. I spent a couple of hours just feeling a bit down, and I know a lot of you guys will be feeling a bit deflated by the result, but let's try and think bigger picture. I think there is still a lot of football left to be played, and the last time City overtook us in the title race, the very next game they dropped points. Our gap was created again. We won, and 2 points was the gap back then when they dropped points to Forest, and we beat Villa. It can happen again very quickly. It's far from it. This is what a title race is all about. Twists, changes in positions, and and it's going to come down to margins. And this title is not there to be, it's not entitled to us. We didn't win it in November. We didn't win it in January. We still haven't won it now. And City are more than capable of winning it at any time. So there's still a lot of football left to be played, and we are more than capable of going to the Etihad and getting a positive result. Now, the edge that they have on us is they've played us twice and they've beaten us twice. Maybe the advantage we might have is there are a lot of football that they need to play in Europe and cup competitions, so they will feel the impact of that eventually, but they do have the depth to manage that. If they were to lose one of their centre-backs, they bring in a quality centre-back to make up the two or the three that they're playing at the moment. For us, we are playing Rob Holding, and we're probably losing that quality. We're feeling it, so we're just trying to maximise those percentages as best as we possibly can. And you've got to remember, Rob Holding has done really well. When we're just focusing on the centre-backs for the moment, he's done well up to this point. But there are moments where you feel that drop-off in quality. What else? City don't play again until they play us, so we can go and create that gap again and just make it difficult for them as much as possible. But yeah, not a great result. 2-0 up again, to lose it again and not be in the game. I think when you think back to the games away to Villa, home to Bournemouth, when we were just needing a goal, it felt like we would get that goal. You would feel the vibes of the team and the way we were squeezing them in. You would feel that we could get something. But today, that edge just was not there. Jesus could have stayed on the pitch, but he was on a yellow. Eddie could have come on earlier, all ifs and buts. Arteta in the game management of these crunch games, is he feeling it? A lot of questions. We don't know what this result's going to mean. I said this last week as well. We don't know what the point of Liverpool means. But today, you just think that it's far more damaging than we needed it to be. But yeah, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. We're going to keep doing these videos. We're going to keep reacting. And see you on the next one.